And we'll see if we can take you live and talk about a direct flight coming to Johannesburg, United Airlines. And that, of course, is important. It's huge in terms of tourism in the future. But what about COVID-19? What about where we are right now? Tourism and transport ministers, together with the U.S. Embassy representatives and the CEO of the airports company, are at OR Tambo International Airport, we understand, to welcome the arrival of United Airlines' first scheduled daily flight between New York and Johannesburg. The move comes amidst tight restrictions imposed by the US, though, on South African travellers following a second wave of infections. And of course, we're heading into our third. Our reporter Naledi Ngcobo is at the airport. Naledi, what is happening right now?
Well, good evening, Francis. We're here at OR Tambo, where around 243 passengers aboard the United Airlines flight from New York have just arrived. And we're joined here by the Minister of Tourism, Mmamoloko Kubayi-Ngubane, who's also here to welcome some of those guests. We do understand that this is happening amid, obviously, we are on the cusp of a third wave. And so South Africans have to adhere to quite tight restrictions in order to travel this route. But we do understand that U.S. citizens who are coming to South Africa, most of them who are here have been vaccinated or have received negative COVID tests. And so we're expecting that, there would be some restrictions that are imposed on South Africa. But here to tell us a little bit more about what this will entail and the travels and the requirements that South Africans will need to adhere to, we have the Minister of Tourism here, Ms. Mmamoloko Kubayi-Ngubane, who's joining us this evening. Good evening, Minister, and how are you?
Good evening, and good evening to your viewers.
Good, thank you, Minister. Minister, can you tell us a little bit about what today signifies? How significant is this to tourism?
This is actually a huge achievement for us. It's a milestone that we've been looking for. Not only are we seeing airlines return to South Africa, but a new airline coming to operate in South Africa for the first time with almost 95% capacity full. We are informed that the flight that is arriving tomorrow actually is overbooked in terms of travelers, more than what they anticipated. So it's full coming to South Africa. It says the markets are responding well. They have listened to our message when we say it's safe to come to South Africa, and therefore they have started to show that confidence. We do believe that many who have put South Africa on the red list will see that there is no need for putting South Africa on the red list, and therefore they will bring back South Africa in terms of traveling and building confidence. But also this speaks to what we have done previously. We talked about tourism sector recovery, where it started with the domestic market and now moving into the international market. And this is a huge milestone for us. I know that the tourism sector will welcome these travelers, and they'll look after them because we've been yearning for them. So I'm relying on all people, team tourism across the country, both in government and both in private sector, that they will look after these travelers so that they can be able to tell their families, their friends to come to South Africa.
Minister, you know that, the U.S. has imposed quite strict restrictions for South Africans traveling to the U.S. They have to have been vaccinated, and they're very specific that it has to be a Johnson & Johnson vaccine or Moderna or Pfizer. What were the requirements for South Africans that are trying to travel overseas? And what are the requirements for the South African government for those that are coming?
Look, from our side, though, everybody who's coming across the world, they need to produce 72-hour certificate that shows that they've been tested to have a negative test result. We are working towards including even vaccination as part of the vaccine certificates, as part of saying that you can enter the country. We have been red listed, obviously, by US, but what is good is that they are not requiring quarantine, which is a deterrent in terms of those who want to travel. So we are confident, as we are working with the embassy, to improve the condition. As they see more travelers looking to come to South Africa, they will improve. And seeing the safety that we have in terms of how we manage in the pandemic, they will be able to assist us.
Minister, and finally, safety is definitely a big thing. And I guess those that are traveling and those that are within the country would want to know that they are safe from travelers who have been coming. What are you putting in? What protocols can you be putting in to make sure that everyone is safe and that all the protocols are met?
Look, we've been testing testing the protocol since last year. We've been across the country, going to various destinations, and we've been showcasing that it is safe and tourism sector is not a source of spread. So we've showcased in hotels, in lodges, how game drives. We've issued our norms and standards. So the sector has been practicing this. We've tested with the domestic market, and we do believe that we are safe for people to travel and move around the country.
Thank you, Minister, for your time.
Thank you.
Well, there you had it, Francis. Minister, they're saying that South Africa is a safe destination that adheres to all required protocols for travelers in and around the country. And she feels like this route will be significant in terms of boosting tourism figures and raising the business and business relations between South Africa and the U.S. And so we hope that, that this will go on and that a third wave is not going to get in the way. But of course, time will certainly tell how this will go and whether United Airlines, will continue with this route going forward.
Thank you so much, Naledi Ngcobo.